Okay, awesome. Got a juicy, juicy, juicy topic today. And I think it's going to create a lot of relief because truth always sets us free. So, we're going to talk about how men and women have misinterpreted the feminist movement. And it's really causing a lot of men and women to be unhappy, unfulfilled, and confused. Now, I know there's a lot of talk out there that there's a crisis for men right now. And that's true. They don't know their place. But there's also a crisis for women. And I know because I'm a woman, I experienced it and came out of it because I understood what was going on, the misinterpretation of this feminist movement. So both of us are misinterpreting it. I'm mainly talking to heterosexual men and women. Okay. So let's just get that out of the way. So the man that's attracted to a woman, a feminine woman, and a woman who's biologically a woman who's attracted to the masculine man. Okay. All right. So first, let's go back to the feminist movement. Some people want to say, make the fault be the actual movement. Well, that's not true. We needed a feminist movement because let's just face it. I know my mom was raised in a patriarchy. I mean, my grandmother couldn't even have a checking account for the longest time. So we gave more rights to men. We had to have a feminist movement to give women equal rights to do whatever they wanted. Okay, so the feminist movement was really important. What I think happened at that time, if we could just for a moment have some grace, some forgiveness, some understanding for the learning curve for both men and women with the feminist movement happening. Okay, let's have some grace. We're all evolving, we're all learning, and we are in a culture that wants to cancel and make wrong and blame and shame. I am just going to state it like it is. That is narcissistic behavior. It is. It's not kind. Kindness is listening, seeking to understand, talking about it, sharing, expressing your feelings, and then finding the truth. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do. Because I think there's a lot, I just did a video yesterday about men complaining that it's never enough. And I believe this topic I'm talking about right now is connected to his frustration, but I didn't even talk about what's going on for the woman in yesterday's video. It's hard to encompass the whole thing in a quick video. So if you like what I'm talking about, come back for more. But what I want to talk about today is continuing in this feminist movement. We needed it because women needed equal rights. They needed to be able to apply for the same job a man was applying for, to have the same sort of pay, to have the same rights, the same options. Okay, it's all about options, being able to be sovereign with ourselves and our choices, rather than be under the thumb of what the man is choosing and deciding. That's what the feminist movement was for. And I thank all the women that came forward and gave that to us. Now, in that was a huge learning curve, and I am part of that, especially with my age. What I'm finding with so many women my age, over the past 10 years, for me specifically, and these women that I've talked to, we recognized that the feminist movement kind of fed us a lie. Now, again, I don't know that it fed us a lie, but it kind of created a lie that caused us to abandon our femininity. There's Juno. Hi, Juno. Hi, girl. Yes, hi, gorgeous. And we abandoned our femininity and became ultra masculinized. And so many of us in the last 10 years have been reclaiming our femininity. And I feel super emotional as I'm sharing this with you. I'm an empath. I feel things. And, I'm a healer type. I help people heal. And I'm feeling this. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling other women that gave up their femininity to have their equal rights. and we became more masculinized, unnaturally so. It did not fit with who we were, but that's what we thought we were supposed to do at the time. And there's many of us that would have, now we're embracing our femininity and we're loving it. And I can try to go into detail as to what that looks like. But it feels really good to embrace my femininity. Sure, I have masculine and feminine within me, but at home, in my relationship, and at work, I want to let that femininity out. Their femininity is not less than masculinity. They both bring something different to the table and create the yin and yang. Yin and yang is a beautiful thing. And I believe I came into this lifetime to be a woman. I'm biologically a woman, and I want to express that femininity. That's the experience I want. I was probably a man in other lifetimes, I'm sure. But in this lifetime, I'm a woman. And the feminist movement, I misinterpreted it along with a bunch of other women and became more masculinized. So let's think about what that did to the men. And there's so much grace here because I'm not mad at myself for going through that. It's just what happened. It was kind of the flow of culture. And we all sort of, the road to finding our happy or our fulfillment is very messy. I've never seen a linear line, okay? So that was, the feminist movement was like this up and down, right? To then, now I feel like I am in this place. I'm embracing my femininity. I feel really good embracing my femininity. It feels home to me. And back when I was more masculinized, overworked, overwhelmed, overstressed constantly, and my health deteriorated. I'm seeing tons of women with their health deteriorating. Why? Because I believe they're trying to do it all as I was. They haven't reached that point in their maturity to really embrace who they are as a woman and their femininity and not try to be doing it all at a 10. 1 out of 10. We women, most of us try to do it at a 10. We can't do it all and be healthy. We can try. I tried. Many of my friends have tried. Many of the people I've coached have tried. We're absolutely worn out and sick. There's a lot of women with autoimmune disorders, breast cancer, you name it. Am I blaming the feminist movement on it? No, I'm blaming our misinterpretation of it. But it's all okay because we're here to learn. It's all okay. We're here to learn. But if we want to experience more love and joy and meaning and fulfillment, maybe there's something important here. Okay? So I just talked about the women's road. Let's talk about the man. The man so let's go back in time. He's used to this power, this patriarchy. We all seem to be on board with it. And then we realize, like, this isn't fair. Women are smart too. Women can do anything. Women need options as well. They need to be treated equally. Beautiful. There probably were some men that didn't agree with that. There might be even women that didn't agree with it. But for the most part, we all understand this is important to do. So we go through it. And men then have to find their place. And men have a bigger natural drive to go out and kill the beast. It's true if we look at genetics, if we look at how men are created. Men have larger musculature, larger lungs, heart capacity, bigger hands, bigger arms, bigger legs. They're just bigger, and they're typically stronger. Both bigger and stronger in their DNA. And back in the day, before we'd evolved, we made that a priority because man could go out and kill the beast and bring it home to feed the family. Meanwhile, woman was organizing the home, making sure the home ran well and cooked the food and all of that. Highly valuable were both. Well, now we don't have to go out and kill the beast. But what I think we're misinterpreting and not understanding is there's still a stronger drive for man to protect and cause his family to feel safe. And I have learned now at this time in my life, I actually really love that. Does that mean he needs to earn more than me, have the bigger job with a bigger paycheck? No, it doesn't. So that's where the misinterpretation comes in. We can still choose what we want to choose, the experience we want to have, but can we allow the natural genetics, the biology, which then comes out in who we are, be there? I know as women, we are more emotion-based. Why? Because we actually need those deeper emotions to carry a child within us, nurture that child, feed that child, and make sure the child survives. We have to have that nurturing to nurture a child. Now, don't take this wrong. There are always people that do not belong in the stereotype. Always. It's sort of actually getting very boring having to make sure I say that so that this whole dialogue isn't misinterpreted. But you know what? People will do what they want to do. I'm coming from a good place of my own experience and what I've seen with people I have coached. So back to the men. They truly are in a crisis because I don't know that they quite know what to do. And I know that there's some women who are like, don't open the door for me. I don't want you to. And I find that's more the younger women who have not matured to where I am at in my age, where you darn right, I want that door open for me. I want to feel feminine. It feels really good to be feminine and to be treated that way with my guy. It doesn't mean I'm less than. It actually means I'm really way up here with respect and value. So everyone can choose how they want to do it. But I do believe there's confusion and misinterpretation. So here's a guy, let's say he wants to do those gentlemanly acts, and he's not sure if the woman he's with appreciates that, wants that. And maybe he's defaulted to, well, they want equality, so I'm not going to. There's probably a lot of that going on. You guys have to decide for yourselves, but I know for the women my age, and I'm finding it happening with younger women because they're realizing this isn't working. I'm so overloaded and exhausted. I can't do it all. What they're really asking for is like, can I please be in my feminine? Please. Can I revel in my feminine? Can I be taken care of? That's not a less than. It's incredible because what we're diminishing is how amazing that makes our masculine man feel. Being in our feminine makes a masculine man feel so good. And let's not make that wrong. He still has that DNA in him that wants to protect and kill the beast and bring it home for his lady. And again, interpret that how you want. Here's something I know that I want to tell you that I hope you understand what I'm trying to say with this. Something I noticed, not just with myself, when I was single, and women that I know that are single in their 40s. They're dating men who are single too, and roughly their age. So most of us have children. What I noticed is men have a much harder time navigating being single and having their kids than women. Both are hard, but they're hard for different reasons for both the men and women, okay? The women I noticed, they can make it happen. They can juggle it. Yes, it's hard and it's tiring, but they can handle it much better than the men. And what I noticed with the men is that they are missing their anchor. Woman in the house raising children is So valuable to men. It's valuable to women in a different way. I will get to her in a second. But what I saw with all the men is kind of lost. It was really, really hard for them. It was really hard to navigate being dad and mom, knowing honestly what to do. And you know what I feel like is missing is the woman in their life who is that intuitive guide. Women are naturally intuitive when it comes to nurturing those children. That's missing for them. It was very hard for them. I see it all the time. And I hear women complaining who are dating the guy because he doesn't know how to have boundaries with the children. He really doesn't know. Yes, he's doing the best he can and he'll try, but it's really, really hard for them. Women, not so hard. That's not the issue with the women. The anchor women are missing, and I will speak for myself as well, and I see it with other women, is that protector. The protector, making you feel safe. His presence. That leadership, shall I say. Masculine version of leadership. This is not a dictator. This is not tyrannical. This isn't anybody that tells you what to do. A healthy leader always has the people that he's in charge of in mind, and he wants them loved and happy. That is not a tyrannical leader. So I'm talking a healthy leader man that is offering that safety and protection. That's what I notice is missing for the divorced women. Absolutely. Why do we have to make that wrong? The feminist movement, we misinterpreted the lie that it just means we're absolutely equal in all ways. We're not. We bring different things to the table. And that's what I feel like we're resurrecting. We are resurrecting what each of us bring to the table, and we're honoring that. And it's quite wonderful. I love where I am right now. I feel so good. When I was buying into the lies of my interpretation of the feminist movement, exhausted, overwhelmed, not worth it. If I could do it over again, I would. But I don't believe in living in regret. I learned from it. I'm great right now. Yeah. So just checking my notes to see if we covered the biggies, which I think we did. So what can you take away from this? Are you a man that you want to step more into your masculinity and you don't quite know how? Hit me up. I can guide you. But know that if you want to be that man, but in the healthy way, not the dictatorial way. Okay? The healthy leadership man does not take offense to or take personally the emotions of the feminine. He stands strong as a pillar of safety and protection while she has her various emotions and whatever. Just be present to them. Don't take them personally. She actually is cherishing your strength because the emotional woman loves a pillar of strength. It's grounding for us. But when you take it personally, you actually unground us and we become masculinized. And you hate that. In heterosexual relationships, you do not want a masculinized woman. And I will tell you, as a woman who has been on that path and been with men that took my emotions personally and I became masculinized, I hated how that felt too. Hated it. And the reason why I think this is so important for the men to really get, women too, but we are responders and we are the ones who have the more emotions, okay? And they're not wrong. They're beautiful at what makes us us. But if you interpret her emotions as wrong, you're making her wrong. Her womanhood, her biology, you're making her wrong. So it almost takes you guys to wake up and realize this, because if you make her wrong, then she can't be her womanly self around you. And it can't go anywhere. It can't go anywhere. So I'm begging you men to get this. Listen more. Reach out, comment, tell me more of what's going on for you. I will try to address this subject even more because it's really what I see happening today. Okay, so we all just want to be understood for who we are. And I'm a woman who understands both men and women. Oh, sorry. And I want to make sure we both feel understood and that we are both valued and valuable in our unique way. And it is incredibly awesome to embrace who we are and come together with the yin and yang in our relationships. All right. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.